Hello everybody. It's very appropriate that this song is playing. This is Cry Little Sister from one of my favorite movies and one of my husband's favorite movies. It's an old 80s movie. It's The Lost Boys. It's very appropriate that this song is playing because this blog, or this video blog is about another horror flick better known as the Blair Witch Project. I just saw it tonight on DVD on a combo set with like The Hills Have Eyes, or I forget, it was like another horror flick. And as soon as I saw it in Walmart tonight over by the Golden Corral, which I just did the restaurant review for, I said, oh my god, I said, that's so funny, because I'm surprised that it's even, out on DVD, because I told Tony, I said, that movie, The Blair Witch Project, was actually a pretty interesting flick. I mean, it was kind of scary, but, it actually shows you how, clever some filmmakers can actually be. I mean, for example, they, told these three young people, a girl and two guys, and sent them marching off into the woods of Maryland to, do this student project or whatever. And, they didn't tell anybody in the audience that, by the way, this is a farce. These three people are perfectly fine, alive, well, and perfectly healthy. And, they acted like that these kids just went off into the woods like Hansel and Gretel and were eaten alive by a witch. In Burkittsville, Maryland. I mean, that was actually, and I was telling Tony about this earlier, that I was, a few years ago, oh my goodness, it should have been probably a few years ago, but what happens is I was reading online at MSN.com, back when I had an account with MSN as an email address, that the MSN.com gave the Blair Witch Project on a list of like 10 of the scariest videos ever made. They gave the Blair Witch Project at the #1 spot. And I remember that because I had the page bookmarked in my favorites list. It was the Blair Witch Project, let's see, the Amityville Horror was on there, but it was like number 8. Let's see, Silence of the Lambs was on there. Lost Boys was on there, I think it was number 3. I'm trying to think of what else was on there. Like The Hills Have Eyes. I'm trying to remember what else was on there. But I mean, I can remember very distinctly that the Blair Witch Project was #1. And they said the amazing thing is we didn't find out until months and months later that this was an actual farce. And that for like a small budget, low budget film, for it to, be like a sleeper hit, it's just unbelievable. I mean, granted, yeah, there was a bit of a backlash afterwards when everybody realized that their chains had been yanked with this movie, but, that was the cool thing about that movie. That was the hook for it, was that, nobody knew that this was, these film producers or this director just gave these 3 random people video cameras and told them, okay, we're going to take you guys out in the woods. We want you to videotape each other, but we're going to try to scare the puckies out of you while you're taping at night, especially. And that's all they told them. I mean, that's just knowing that somebody's going to try to scare the crap out of you is, scary enough. I mean, but yeah, it worked. Apparently it worked real well. I mean, I don't know whatever happened to those 3 people, other than I remember Heather Donahue actually was doing Steak and Shake commercials after that. And then, like, I think, like, oh god, maybe like, right about the time that the truth came out about the fact that it was a whole farce, the commercials that she was in got yanked. So, I haven't seen anything with her in it for years and years since that. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a video blog about the Blair Witch Project, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Bye.